So I think childhood trauma therapy work must be something different than other kinds of therapy. There's an entire industry out there of therapy and therapists and, books and YouTube channels and support groups, and they must be helping some people, but I have been feeling more and more hopeless in my efforts. But I do see these little glimmers of hope peeking through, and a lot of those are in the form of YouTube channels where I find some people that are talking a slightly different language than I hear from most other therapy or most other just like systems of belief about healing and becoming a better person. There's a lot out there. Like there's the self-help gurus that are going to be like the Tony Robbins flavor. There's going to be the business self-help people, the Alex Hormozy types. And then there's going to be a whole world of just all kinds of different energetic healers. And there's, a lot of stuff that's connected to a spiritual practice, whether that is something New Age or Christian or Buddhist or something else. There's just a lot of different modalities out there. There's not many that seem to connect with me. And I've seen multiple therapists. I stopped seeing one a few months ago, and it was an IFS therapist. There's another buzzword for you, another different kind of modality, the internal family systems. I heard about this through Gabor Maté.
These internal family systems, or IFS, developed by my friend and colleague, Dr. Richard Schwartz.
He recommended IFS therapy. I went to an IFS therapist, and I didn't feel like this person really was asking the right questions or understood where I came from. I kind of thought, well, maybe IFS isn't for me, but I saw a YouTube video today by two of my top YouTube resources, which is Anna Runkle is her name. She goes by Crappy Childhood Fairy. It's a hilarious name. And then there's this other guy named Patrick Teahan. And both of them are therapists and have developed followings. They've got courses and books and things like that. So check them out. I'll link them below. They're incredible. When they speak, they're saying things that I don't hear very commonly. And they're mostly focused on childhood trauma and CPTSD.
If you have childhood PTSD and maybe you didn't know until recently that there's a name for it, that it's a thing, you might have spent decades like I did trying to figure out like what is wrong and how do you heal this? Well, this is where YouTube came in and changed a lot of lives for us.
The reason I bring them up is because one thing that they were saying in this one video that I'll link below is that it took them, specifically Anna, it took Anna a very long time to find a therapist. I think she said she went through 11 therapists before she found someone who was really speaking her language. And that's important because I think it changed my mind about IFS. Maybe it's not IFS that's the problem, but this specific therapist. And the truth of the matter is, I don't care what your modality is. I'm not married to any belief system about, child upbringing and trauma and getting over issues. I just need something that's going to help. I feel like I don't know what to do, and what I've done in the past has not helped. I've been through online courses. I am a part of a men's group right now. I've been to multiple therapists. I've read books. I've watched YouTube videos. Some of them hit closer to home than others, but none of them have changed me for the better. I'll give you a quick description of the kinds of issues that I'm dealing with right now that has led me on this journey to try to find something that will help and has ultimately led me to this path of seeking out childhood trauma and how to resolve that. So this is just going to be a real shortened version. There's, of course, a lot that we could go into, but the way that this is showing up in my life is, if you know a little bit about me, I'm at a place where I feel like I've hit a rock bottom. That sounds dramatic to say that. I can say that this year that I'm filming this, has been the worst of my life. And that sounds hyperbolic. It just is what it is. This has been a very hard year. I felt the lowest lows I've ever felt. I've had real, true depression, and life just doesn't make sense anymore. Where I find myself is after a string of relationships that, I've put everything into have not worked out long term. I've really felt defeated, like I don't know what to do, but I can tell that there are some patterns that I have. Certainly the partners that I picked out, they had their issues as well, but I can't change them, and they're out of my life at this point. So I'm left with only me. And I know there's some patterns that I'm starting to pick up on and see things like people pleasing in the context of a relationship. And it's caused a lot of issues. Maybe that doesn't sound like a big deal to you, but it turns into a big deal in the context of a relationship. Number one, your partner stops respecting you when you're a people pleaser. And number two, you're not having fun. You give up everything to be there for your partner. So why the hell do I do that? I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. So relationships have felt to me like a failure. And the reason that it's got me down so bad, I think I've recently kind of discovered, like, why has this hit me so hard? Why have I fallen into a state of depression? I think it's because I'm at the limit of what my tooling is going to allow me to do. When I say my tooling, I mean my upbringing, kind of my software, my worldview. I don't know how to do any better. Every time I get in a relationship, I just feel like I'm fucking winging it and I'm not doing a very good job and I'm fucking up, and I end up in these places where, like, I feel like, when me and my partner started our relationship, we had a really good thing, and then it somehow slips into this thing where it feels like she loses respect for me. It's this people pleasing stuff. I get it. I understand some parts of it. I don't know why I do it to begin with, and I don't know how to stop it. And so that feeling like I don't know how to do relationships any differently than what I've done, like I don't notice when I'm doing the things that I'm doing. I can't see it. And it's making me feel helpless. Like, I don't know. I need help. I need someone to help me. I need books to help me. I need YouTube channels to help me. I don't care. I just need some help because I'm doing my best. That's such a defeating thought, to truly say, I am doing my fucking best and it's just not working and I don't know what to do differently. Okay, relationships is just one realm. I have all the same stuff in the business world. I built a business with a business partner. We had a falling out. It was actually just like my romantic relationships, where he lost respect for me. But I think the same thing happened in that realm there, where I kind of like set him as the leader and I made myself subordinate to him. And I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I do that. I defer to other people to make decisions. It's somehow tied to my childhood trauma. And the reason that I know this is because there's only a few people out there. They're YouTubers, and they're like a crappy childhood fairy. They're like Heidi Priebe. They're like this other guy, Patrick Teahan. And I know I'm forgetting some other really important people. I'll add a few more links in there. There's a few channels that I really turn to. When they speak, they are talking about things that I haven't heard elsewhere. And it's kind of like the symptoms all line up.
So I think it's very common for people to start watching videos or reading content or in any way exposing themselves to information about trauma or attachment styles or whatever it is, and go, yeah, I see myself in the symptoms of these things, but there's nothing I can point to in my childhood that was overtly traumatic. There's nothing that happened to me that I can really look at and go, yeah, that's the reason why I have all of these challenges.
So if the symptoms all line up, then I can, kind of deduce that, okay, whatever they're describing is what I'm dealing with. So I'm not at the point where I am better. But I think what I wanted to get across today is just simply that I think it's different. But just be aware that, like, therapy is not one thing. And a therapist, they're not all the same. And
I was just going to say, when you said mindfulness, there is a lot of that. And I know mindfulness is a really important tool for a lot of people.
Yes.
But I feel like the people who believe like that's going to be sufficient for CPTSD obviously don't have CPTSD. It's, it's a little thing in the context of a lot of things.
While this does not sound profound, it's just something that is kind of clicking for me through my own experience, because I honestly feel bad when I go to a therapist and I don't get better. I feel bad. I turn it on me. Once again, I think this is a part of someone who has a upbringing like mine, like,
Are you talking to anybody? Are you talking to anybody?
Yes, I am.
Okay, is that helping? Is that helping?
It is helping. But sometimes I don't know what to talk about.
I can ask you something. When you say you don't know what to talk about, how do you feel not knowing what to talk about?
Scared, because it's like I don't know what's wrong, or I don't know if.
Do you feel a responsibility to have something to say?
For sure.
Okay. And if I came to you and if I said, hey, JB, I have some confused feelings and I don't know what to say, would you say to me, well, Gabor, there's something obviously wrong with you, get over it? Or, would you say that?
I wouldn't say that.
How come you wouldn't say it?
Because I feel it too.
Yeah, but
I know how they feel.
But you're making yourself wrong for it.
Right.
So why don't you just say, I don't know what to say?
Yeah. I think that's probably the most authentic and vulnerable thing I could say is I don't know what to say.
Yeah. And but here I am. I don't know what to say. And Is that okay with you? Or can I be with you? Or can you, it's something, these are just normal human dynamics. But with the upbringing that you had, and a lot of people had, people make themselves wrong for it.
Yeah. Well, there's a performance aspect of,
Yeah.
have to perform too.
But you have to perform in order to be acceptable.
They often talk about how children, their default thought when something is not right in your childhood is that it's my fault, and you take it on yourself. So anyway, that's just to say that that's something that I've done with therapists, and this kind of makes me emboldened a little bit to find a therapist or a group or a book, whatever, a online class. I don't care what it is. I just need to find something where it absolutely resonates.
Not everybody who has a public voice in this area is helpful. Here's something that I want to advocate for people is find something that helps you feel better now. We must feel comfort now. And that this was something I tell people when they're like, what do I look for in a therapist? I'm like, don't buy the idea that it just has to feel like terrible and worse forever. Like if they can't help you like feel better right away while you work on stuff that's hard, it's not a safe place.
It's because I've been with a few where I just join them, shrug my shoulders and say, well, I'll give it a try. I don't know what I'm dealing with, so I don't know what's going to help, which is a completely reasonable thing. If you feel the same, if anything that I'm saying connects with you and you feel the same there, that like, I don't know what I'm dealing with. I just know that my life is not working for some reason, so I don't know what's going to fix it. That's understandable. That's how I've been. But this was a little bit of an epiphany to me that it's different. And I need to seek out someone who is saying the message exactly. It's mildly frustrating that most of the people that are on YouTube don't do one-on-one work. I understand they have a passion to get their message out to the masses, and the masses need it. I believe that childhood trauma work is highly underserved. Maybe someday I'll help out with it, but I'll only do that once I get past this, if I get past this. That's the only time. I don't think anybody should be in this field, just because it's trendy or something. Anyway, a little bit of a tangent, but that's what I'm telling myself, is that stick it out, find someone that's saying the precise message, and I don't know, just keep, if you can find it, just keep pressing forward with whatever that modality is until some relief comes. Good luck to y'all. Good luck to me too.